Tuesday, big way. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. We do not see any birthdays today. So if your birthday is today, please let us know in the comments so we can sing to you. You don't want to miss these beautiful voices on here. So, all right. Well, got a question for you. So the word for today, Cheryl Elliott, this is for you. Thank you so much for the word. Uh, so the word is pressure. Pressure. And before I read the definition, I want to take you through my first thought when I saw this word. So, this past weekend, I was in Colorado Springs with my son and the amazing team there. And we drove from Colorado Springs on 70 to Utah. Arlene has done that trip many times. So it is beautiful. And you see all of these mountainous ranges, different kinds. And it's just, from snowy to feeling like you're in the desert, right? So what does that have to do with pressure? So we stayed just the other night. We spent the night in Vail, Colorado, and we were talking about me and him over dinner was talking about rock and pressure over time, what it creates. And it's really interesting, Cheryl, that we're picking the word pressure because I didn't know that at the time. And I said, it's real. It's amazing to me when I look at mountainous ranges and I think about the power of God's word and how pressure over time develop these incredible, magnificent, breathtaking views as you're driving through it. If you're thinking like that, so pressure. Here's the definition. Pressure is continuous physical force exerted against an object. So, but in life and leadership, pressure is the mental or the emotional strain that comes from demanding circumstances, expectations, challenges. Like you're sitting there and you're like, in business, you're like, oh my goodness, I've got all this pressure. Like my business was growing. Now it's got to grow again. It's like, what do you think those mountains did like centuries ago? You think those rocks felt the same way? Like this crazy pressure that creates this beautiful structure over time. Research, I challenge you to research that. Like, and just look at that. Because here's what to me pressure really means. Pressure is what we feel when there's something at stake. You know, for a lot of us, we're in business for ourselves. Here's what's at stake: our finances, our income, our everything. And it puts some tremendous pressure sometimes on you. Not only you, but thinking about your team and your people. So it can create emotional strain and mental, like, whew, it's tough sometimes because pressure is something you feel when there's something at stake. It's the tension that shows up when you're pursuing greatness. Think about the mountain. It's pursuing greatness, right? And so it's put force and tension and all this over time, but it creates something beautiful. So I believe that pressure doesn't show up unless potential is present, right? So what I mean by that, like why is it important? Why is it important to have pressure in our life? Because pressure reveals what we're made of. It stretches our limits. It challenges us. We were put on this earth to thrive, not to survive, and that comes with pressure. Pressure actually keeps us living a longer life, believe it or not. It keeps us creating This story, like the mountain that creates a bigger mountain, that creates a bigger, and it's like with every creation comes a new story. It comes a new opportunity, right? Of an experience. So it stretches us, it sharpens us. And a lot of times it saves us from being average. It saves us from being like it just keeps on till this beautiful picture is created over time. Champions are made in are not made in comfort. Okay, they're made in pressurous situations. Ask Michael Jordan, one of the greatest players of all time. The game's on the line. It's tied up. Give me the ball, coach. I want the shot. You think that's pressure? NBA Finals, game's on the line, give me the shot. Put me at the free throw line. Champions are made in times of pressure. I believe that the presence of pressure means you're in the right place to grow, to win, to flourish, and to create this beautiful mountainous figure when it's all said and done. So, Andrea, this really got me passionate this morning when I was looking at this. So, I'll turn it to you.
It showed, Coach. That was a great lesson. So thank you for that one. And Cheryl, thank you for the word. And there's a little clue here. We love words. So keep them coming, keep them coming, keep them coming. We love getting words. So thank you for that. And my quote, Beth actually just put in the chat where it said, pressure is a privilege. It only comes to those who earn it. And that's Billie Jean King. And so I was thinking, okay, I'm trying to get like the flow of pressure being a positive. And I'll tell you, I haven't really thought of it that way. So your lesson was definitely a good shift there, Coach, and I appreciate that. So what I looked into was more of, okay, we all have pressure, right? If we're doing things in our life, if we're striving, if we're trying to make ourselves a little bit better, we're going to have some pressure. So how do we make the best out of it? What can we do in our life when we're feeling a little bit of pressure? How do we make that feel better and strive to make us do a little bit more? Okay, so first of all, flip our mindset. Instead of saying, I think of my conversations with Coach. I'm so stressed, right? Have you ever said that, Coach? Instead of saying that, instead say, I'm ready, or I'm feeling a lot today, but I can handle it. Or I know that, there's a lot on this to-do list, but I am equipped to go make it all happen. But flip that mindset to being, because I can, I think maybe I'm not the only one, but I can sit in that feeling of stress and I can let it overwhelm me. And I can tell myself I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed until I never move that day. And I didn't move the needle at all. But if I flip it and say, okay, I feel a little frazzled right now, but I have a 100% track record of making it through days like this. I'm ready for it. I'm equipped for it. I can go get it. Well, then I feel empowered to go run through that day, and that pressure is going to strive me to go a little bit farther. Next is to breathe through it. And maybe we need to do breathe again, because this is a good one where you feel a little bit of stress, you feel a little bit of pressure, but if we slow down and we take a moment to just breathe, it makes us feel more powerful. That pressure can make us want to panic, right? But when we breathe through it, it empowers us, makes us feel more powerful in that moment. Focus on what you can control. Anybody else guilty of trying to control like everything? And we know like we can control like this much, and really it's probably just the things like in this hand and below. And sometimes we can even struggle there. But focus on what you can control. Pressure can get really loud, and it can come from different places, and it can just really make our mind kind of get a little bit out of focus. But if I focus on what I have control on, which is mainly my actions, then I can release that pressure. And I think about back in the day, our company had a car program, and I wanted that dang car. Oh, I wanted that car. wasn't about the car. It was about the money and the status, and like everybody else was doing it. Why can't I, kind of thing. And I really wanted it. And I kept focusing on the outcome. And every single month I felt so much pressure and I wasn't getting it. But then I had a phenomenal mentor that said, don't focus on the outcome, focus on the to-dos, focus on what you can actually take control of. And so I flipped that and I started just focusing on action, 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 action. And guess what? I ended up getting the outcome, but I was focusing on the things that I could control. So I wasn't losing any days to the panic and the pressure. I was just able to work. Next is to prepare like it's game day. Pressure feels heavier when we're winging it. Have you ever had to speak to a group of people? Think even back to high school, you had that group project and you weren't prepared. And remember that feeling where your heart is just going to beat out of your chest, and it shows. But if we prepare, if we show up ready, that eases down that pressure and we can go get whatever it is that we need to get done. Lean on your team. Sometimes we think we're doing this alone, but we're not. We all have beautiful people that are surrounding us. And if we don't isolate ourselves, then that pressure will get lighter when we share the load with the people around us. And then lastly, use it as a signal. So when you're feeling a lot of pressure and you're like, what in the world is going on? Realize that that pressure is proof that you're leveling up. If I stay in my comfort zone and I'm doing things that don't excite me and don't grow me and don't make me any better, well, I don't feel any pressure. I'm just sitting there like a little potato. And I love potatoes, but I want to get better. So pressure is a sign that you're leveling up and you're doing something more in your life. So Cheryl, great word. I didn't think that there was going to be a positive in pressure. I really didn't. So that was a fun one. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this was an amazing word. And I actually, as I was doing pressure, if you go to my social media today, if you, not that you have time to do that, but if you did, I actually put a thing out. I want to read it to you as we end today. And this, Cheryl, you inspired this, but it says, when I compare, I despair. I can't focus on someone else's life. I must focus on my life, my path, and my purpose. Focus on being the best I can be. So many times the pressure we put on ourselves, and we need pressure, but we don't need pressure when it comes to comparison. Don't play the comparison game. Play the I want to be the best version of myself game. And how do I do that game? So just thought I'd share that, guys. Love you so much. So grateful for you. Happy Tuesday. You guys have a great day. John Frick, go drive a tractor today. See you guys.
Love you guys. I'm trying to mute, but it's fine.
Brenda Carlton, show Michelle McKay how to drive a tractor. Maybe y'all can do that out in Colorado before you come up.
And film it.
Yeah.
Film it
Michelle
too.
says she knows how.
Okay, Michelle knows how.
I want to know. My granddaddy had mules.
You can
I
end
never-
it.
Me too,
Great
Eric.
job,
I mean,
Brent.
and the
Great
one
job,
I
Brent.
know, my
Great
granddaddy
word.
did not.
Risk taking, excellent work.
Everybody have a great
Guys,
day.
great